Hey guys, good afternoon. Well, actually, good morning. It's almost afternoon anyway. It's about 11:25 here, here in Astor, Florida, right now. Well, let's see what I have to speak about today. The replacement of the replacement of one of the greatest aircraft there ever was, Boeing 737. The 737 was introduced back in the early 1960s as a medium-range aircraft. Lufthansa was the launch customer for the 737, and Aer Lingus, Air France, let's see, United Airlines, American, Delta, Continental were the 737, Olympic Airways as well. And by the late 60s, Southwest Airlines came into existence, and they started their very first revenue flight in 1972. Mostly with the old 737-100s and 200s. And another carrier, U.S. Air, came into existence. They were another customer for the 737. Hampton and Lloyd, lots of airlines ordered the 737, but not too many ordered the 737. TWA being one, and Northwest Airlines being another. Those were the two customers that did not order the 737, but instead went with the Douglas DC-9. The 737 would evolve into two versions, the 737-100 and the 737-200. The 737's nickname, she was called the Baby or the Whale. The aircraft looks like a sperm whale, and was also given the name the Baby. A number of U.S. carriers flew the 737. Southwest Airlines, Delta, American, Air Florida, U.S. Air, just to name a few, including Singapore Airlines, the only Asian air carrier, and CAAC, the forerunner that would later become Air China. A number of models of the 737 was ordered from 1963 up to 1999, but the 737 went under a complete transformation when the aircraft was given winglets, and that was in the 2000s. Beginning in 2007, Southwest Airlines was the first to have their 737 fleet modified after both the 737-100 and 200 was retired, and the 300, the 400, 500, 600, the BBJ or Boeing business jet, the 737-700, 737-800, 737-900, P-8 Polaris, which is the military version of the 737. The 737 went through a number of different changes. Some were converted as freighters, Alaskan Airlines being one of them. They flew a converted version of the 737-200, but the 737 had a number of major accidents. January the 13th, 1982, Air Florida Flight 90, a 737 that was on its way from Washington Reagan on its way to Hollywood Fort Lauderdale International Airport. That was carrying 90 passengers. As the 737 struggled to get into the air, that day it was very cold. A major blizzard had hit the northeast, and Air Florida Flight 90 took off around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on January the 13th. And before departure, the captain and the first officer were going over the pre-check, the pre-flight check. And the one thing the National Transportation Safety Board picked up, de-icers off. The de-icers on that plane should have been on in the first place. That would clear the ice and snow off the wings and the body of the aircraft. Ice would weigh a plane down as it is taken off, because the aircraft would struggle and then crash. U.S. Air had at least 2 accidents involving the 737. One at Los Angeles International Airport in 1991, and the other at the Greater Pittsburgh International Airport on September 8, 1994. U.S. Airways flight was on its way from Chicago to Pittsburgh, and as the 737 was beginning its final approach, the rudder that controls the aircraft, I'm showing you how a rudder works. The rudder controls the aircraft to the left or to the right. But the problem with the rudder just jammed to the right, and the aircraft could not maneuver, and the 737 crashed, killing everybody on board. It was one of U.S. Air's worst tragedies since 1991, and U.S. Air later changed its name to U.S. Airways. And the 737, the problem with the rudder, it jammed. It happened on a flight to Richmond, Virginia, and that was about 3 years after that. And it was one of the worst accidents in aviation history. The last in the linchpin for the 737 is the 737 MAX. This aircraft is to replace the 737-700, and Southwest Airlines is due to take delivery of the 737 MAX before the end of this year. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I would like to say thank you very much for watching this video. Please, like always, rate, share, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, this is Scott Damon, signing off for now. Have a nice day.